Well, right on time. Welcome to your first night on the job. I'm Gil Grissom, your new supervisor. Of all the new crime scene investigators I interviewed for this position, you were the most promising. Your excellent grades, data analysis, and computer skills put you over the top. Now you have to prove yourself in the field. Working night shift in Vegas is a little like waking up inside a Fellini movie, but you'll get used to it. You'll also work with some of the best CSIs anywhere. Warwick Brown grew up here. He knows this town, and he knows his job. Nick Stokes is here by way of Texas A&M, but don't be fooled by his sunny disposition. He means business. Sarah Seidel was a student of mine from San Francisco, and I invited her aboard when one of our CSIs was killed a few years ago. Our key lab tech, Greg Sanders, is first rate. Don't tell him I said that. It'll go to his head. Dr. Al Robbins is our secret weapon. Not only is he sharp, he's also willing to work nights. We don't do anything independently. We work with Captain Jim Brass. Anything you need legally, including warrants for suspects and locations, he can help you with. Oh, and Catherine Willows. She's who you'll be working with on your first call. That reality series they're shooting in town, World's Wildest Stunts, got a little too real tonight. The show's star stuntman was nearly killed. Check out if it was an accident, negligence, or more. You can either start at the Mediterranean casino where the stunt was being filmed, or head to St. Anthony's Hospital to interview the stuntman. It's your call. Remember, listen to the evidence, listen to the suspects.
Hey, welcome to CSI. Catherine Willows. You believe this insanity? We're not usually dealing with a victim whose business is almost getting himself killed nightly. Lot to do. Let's keep our eyes and minds open.
To quit the game or change the options, including gameplay difficulty, hit the escape key on your keyboard at any time.
Well, it's after visiting hours, but who's complaining? Please tell me you're my physical therapist, beautiful.
Just isn't your lucky night, is it? Catherine Willows, Las Vegas Crime Lab. This is my partner.
Crime lab? Since when is it a crime to have a stunt go wrong? Taking risks is what I do. Alert the media that Ace Dillinger laughed in the face of death once again. Some detective you are. Take a look. Lucky I didn't break my neck. Came damn close, though. Fractured spine, whiplash, broken right tibia, 3 cracked ribs, 1 broken rib, and a concussion. But I'll be back on a bike before you know it. Well, I gotta admit, that's a stumper. It seemed like it was going smooth as a baby's backside. I dumped the clutch and hit the ramp, get airborne and land her nice and square. I try slowing to lay the girl down and slide under the truck, but the bike, it's still revving full bore. I go to grab the clutch lever, but my hand slipped off the bar. If I'd had my head screwed on straight, I might have thought to kill the engine switch. Instead, I go and lock both brakes and wind up plowing all wobbly, full steam ahead. I swerve away from the truck, just to keep my head from ending up in a separate bag. And after that, as you big-time investigators just might be able to figure out for yourselves, it gets a tad cloudy. What part of the damn stunt went sideways don't you understand? You think I took a header for grunts and giggles? I mean, I could use a vacation, but this ain't the route I'd pick. Well, it did seem the gas just wouldn't stop flowing. I use a custom carb on that bike, but it's never given me trouble before. If you're gonna look at anything, make it that, and the throttle assembly. Look, I always do major servicing of my bike my own self. You want something done right? You know the rest. Don't trust these damn shops. Bunch of amateurs. But David McLadden, the stunt director, insists on double-checking my gear before every trick. He tuned my baby up at his trailer in the casino parking lot. Come to think of it, he gave my bike more attention than anybody else's. I kinda got after him about it. McLadden? Never had that much to do with him. Might sound funny, but I'm the star. He's kinda small time. I mean, it's strictly professional. We don't hang. And hey, I don't suffer fools, so when he fouls up or has a lame idea, I'm not shy about tearing him a new one. Producers being on the guy, saying he'd better come up with some fresh new ideas, kind that'll attract ratings, pump up the action, you know, if we hope to get picked up for another season. We're on what they call the bubble. Borderline call whether we're back or not. Corey Mazzotti. Production office is downtown, Draftler Promotions. You're big-time detectives. Try using this cutting-edge investigative tool they got now, the phone book.
Okay. We have to carefully check this whole area to reconstruct how this accident happened. We're looking for inconsistencies. You take the lead. Our boy should have been decelerating here, or anyway, trying to. Read the skid marks. Short, like a series of dashes, increasing in length. Ace was on his way to a lot of bandages. Skidding along, not able to slow down. That's gotta ruin a stuntman's day. Nice ramp. So, report says our stuntman weighs in the neighborhood of 180. Bike's about another 300 pounds. Hits the ramp at 80 miles per hour on a 30-degree incline. Speed generally decreases by roughly 1 mile per uphill degree. Leaves the ramp at around 50 miles per hour with a slight tailwind. Lands the jump successfully. Hey, learning math without a calculator comes in handy sometimes. Here's where the rubber met the road. It's consistent with the 50-mile-per-hour impact. What's this? Greasy kid stuff? Nice and slippery. Lubricant, maybe. Okay, let's take a closer look at what made that bike tick. Or stop ticking. We got a thin yellowish liquid with a pungent smell. I'm gonna pass on a taste test. How about you? We'll let Greg confirm it's urine, though. You know what this looks like? A custom prototype carburetor, modified for stunt work from a standard street bike. If the rider couldn't stop the flow of fuel, we should check the throttle mechanism. The throttle cable might be another avenue worth writing down. The spring is snapped. A result of the crash, or did someone arrange for it to break? This should be a lubricant designed to help the cable glide through the casing. But if somebody wanted to send the bike and its rider to the scrap heap, they might have tried to contaminate it, jam the throttle, making it stick in the open position, which is not recommended. Clean, distinct treads. A lot of grime and dust in the tire. Good find. Sticker of some kind, maybe for a service shop. Can't quite make it out. Isn't that sweet? Some helpful soul tried to clean up our crime scene by sweeping up. Innocent cleanup or crime scene tampering. Either way, I don't love it.
David McLadden. I'm the stunt director around here. Hey, stunts are organized chaos. Best laid plans and all that garbage. Ace was supposed to hit the ramp, land the jump, lay the bike down, and slide under the truck. But instead, he just veered off, did a washout, and then binned it into the barricades.
In English.
He skidded across the pavement and crashed. I coordinate and help design all the gags on World's Wildest Stunts. And now by gags, I don't mean ha ha ha. That's what we call the stunts themselves, gags. I make sure they're exciting, go off without a hitch. Usually. Well, we've been working on the show all season. I met guys with better personalities, sure, but Ace is not paid to be a sweetheart. He's good at what he does. You're looking at him. I gave the bike a quick once-over, tightened this and that. Not much else is called for, because Ace is a bug about his gear. Always on top of it, himself.
Where did you do this inspection?
In my equipment trailer, out in the parking lot. Listen, I didn't know this was going to be some kind of crime lab production. I mean, it's a stunt show. We had an accident, there was a mess, and part of my rarefied executive position is I reach for a broom when necessary. What are you gonna do? Small production, small budget. When the EMTs arrived, they said I should stop, and I did, right away. Did I? Just a routine inspection. Did a once-over of it at my equipment trailer, finished my coffee, then was called away for a quick chat with Mazzotti, the producer. After that, I sent it on back to Ace. Nothing more. He's not my favorite, all right? Try to steer clear of him most of the time. I won't lie to you, he's made noises about replacing me, including tonight. But chances are we'll be in Video Valhalla before you know it anyway. Our ratings are in the cellar, and we're this small-time show up against network series with 2-3 times the budget. I don't mind at all, if you got a warrant. I'm particular about my gear, everything's in its place, and I don't need you people messing up the tools of my trade unless you've got a damn good reason. And did I mention a warrant?
Hey, welcome to the graveyard shift. Greg Sanders. You're the new blood. You've come to the right guy at CSI if you want to know the inside skinny. Need my help analyzing evidence? Hey, don't worry, I can take it. You might get my analysis immediately, or maybe I'll send you over to the computer or microscope image analyzer. Let you work the evidence yourself. Good experience for you. Automatic transmission fluid, slippery stuff, but no traces of metallic particles, meaning it's never been used in a vehicle.
Then maybe it was nothing more than a lubricant to help the bike slide under the truck.
And on the menu today is salts, uric acid, ketones, potassium, calcium, urine. Looks like our hero gets scared like us mere mortals. When he came to rest and his muscles relaxed, he voided his bladder. Or as we scientists put it, he wet himself. What we have here, children, is a silicon-based lubricant. This stuff keeps cables sliding through their casings and prevents sticking. Silicon lubricants don't contaminate easily. But I checked it for dirt or sand or any kind of contaminant that might have prevented the cable from slipping anyway. Zip zally zilch.
We can probably rule out sabotage of the throttle cable as the cause of the crash then.
Print's in the computer for you. You're welcome. That tire tread is now in the computer for you. On first glance, I'd say piece of a spring. Can't tell you anything else about this little sweetheart at the moment. A little presto changeo on the ESDA equipment, and poof, the company name, Vegas Motorcycle. Don't know all the shops around here, so you'll have to dig the address up from someone else.
A lot of similar ones, but I'm not sure if any of these match. Tread looks fairly new. Some distinctive wear patterns and irregularities on it, though.
I'm always glad to meet a new CSI. You're the backbone of what we do. I'm Captain Brass. I can help you by facilitating warrants and digging up additional information about suspects and victims. My door's always open. How can I help you on this one? Guy's job's dangling and he was tampering with the crime scene? Go to work on that trailer of his. Little do-it-yourself CSI style. For you, anything. Let's see. Got it. 493 Briarway, bit outside of town. Draffler Promotions? Should be easy enough. Got it. Office near downtown. See what these show folks have to say for themselves.
World's Wildest Stunts, Corey Mazzotti. I really appreciate you people looking out for our interests here. Thanks a lot. It's just one of those unfortunate things. Frankly, on a show like this, we're lucky we've never had worse. And Ace seems set to make a full recovery. Happy ending for everybody. Well, sure. Behind you all the way, 190%. Oh, except my desk? That's off limits. A lot of industrial espionage in the old TV world. Have to maintain my privacy, you understand. Where did you hear that? The crazy rumors that get around in this business. Look, our show's doing fine in the ratings, and we're going to do better. Ain't broke, ain't gonna fix it. Anything else?
That's all the questions we have, for now. Something splattered here recently. Looks like some force behind it. Can't go in without the owner's permission, unless a judge has given us the go-ahead. Well, plenty to keep us busy here. Double venti decaf latte, no whip, extra hot. Well, these macho stunt people really live dangerously, don't they? If this is the coffee McLadden said he was drinking when he checked Ace's bike, safe bet these are also his prints. McLadden may not be the sharpest tool in the box, but this might be. Video cassette tape. Professional. Somebody's going to pay more than a rewind fee for this. Small piece of metal. Spring of some kind, maybe. He admits sweeping up after the supposed accident, so this is no big surprise. Dusty tread marks. I'd love to process it, but legally it's on the owner's property. We'll need permission.
The handle's Handelman, Leslie Handelman. And it's my shop. I'm a girl who doesn't mind getting her hands dirty. What can I do for you? Ace? He's a peach. Barks a lot worse than his bite. Gets his bike serviced here, time to time. Let me think. Don't believe so. Mostly he likes to do his own upkeep on the bike. Sure, Ace has talked about it. I saw it a couple times, but I've never been over to the set or anything. They got their own staff. And anyway, I'm plenty busy here. I got bills to pay. Lots of them. Hey, I always cooperate with the law. Mi casa is su casa. Only I gotta ask you to stay on that side of the counter. My business materials are private.
That's all the questions we have, for now. These treads and the dust look recent.
Yes? Here's the decaf latte you ordered. Cookie with that, or carrot cake, perhaps?
So the stain on the wall was coffee. Hard to believe that got there accidentally.
That print has been scanned into the computer for you. Hey, I scanned that print into the computer for you. That print has been scanned into the computer for you. Are we a team or what? Tire tread is in the computer. No thanks. Makes me jumpy.
Analyze it, will you, Greg?
Hey, it's just regular coffee. Whatever that means these days.
But more importantly, the lab analysis of the stain matches McLadden's favorite brew. He may have spent some time in the producer's office recently.
Your standard garden variety wire stripper. That's all I can tell you. Not only was this baby crushed, it was demagnetized. This was not somebody's favorite home video, but the AV lab worked some minor magic. We covered a few still frames for you. Footage from the stunt looks like. Images are kind of distorted like an old 60s LSD flick. Use the image enhancement equipment on the table. It's a spring, or anyway a part of one, broken off. You may have just crossed the threshold from evidence to junk.
Puzzle pieces fit. It's a broken throttle return spring. But is the big picture sabotage?
The dimensions are consistent with an assembled throttle return spring. Shuts the carburetor's valve when the rider releases the throttle, reducing air-gas flow to the engine. It's possible a defect could have caused it to snap under severe stress.
Like the impact of a heavy landing, for example. A thing of beauty. A nice, clean tool mark on a spring, ripe for comparison.
It's a return spring. It closes the carburetor's valve when the rider releases the throttle. The tool marks appear to have been made with a handheld clamping tool or something sharper like wire cutters or nippers. Would have been a delicate job even in the hands of a pro. You know, I could match up these unique imperfections to the right tool. Bad news. I checked the tool marks on the return spring against this wire stripper. Not a match.
Blurry. Too far away. Pretty far, plus the ramp's in the way. Motion blur. It's hard to make anything out. All right, we've got a nice clear view of the engine. Let's get even closer and see if we can spot the return spring. It's dark, but you see that? Our spring has already sprung. Must have been weakened enough to snap before the bike even landed. Whoever cut that spring sabotaged the stunt. A lot of similar ones, but I'm not sure if any of these match. Fraud, blackmail. Well, the producer of the world's wildest stunts is a little wild himself. Draffler Promotions. A lot of similar ones, but I'm not sure if any of these match. These two prints are a definite match. These two prints are a definite match. Seems our gag man, David McGladden, dropped by his producer's office recently. Don't think it went well. These two prints are a definite match. Those two match up quite nicely. So, Ace's bike was at the Vegas motorcycle shop recently.
Motorcycle repair shop, not too far from here. Nice little shop. Gal runs it. She's young and, well, frankly, you know, kind of hot. But she knows her stuff, all right. I don't think I'm obligated to discuss that with you. I don't think I'm obligated to discuss that with you.
That's all the questions we have, for now.
Are you kidding? Why is it unusual for the stunt director to stop by the producer's office? So we had a little discussion. So what? Creative people in a creative business, you know? His temper got the best of him and he hurled his cup at me. No biggie. Spilled coffee under the bridge. You know, funniest thing, I have no interest in these crazy bikes in my personal life. I'd have no interest to go by any shop like that.
That's all the questions we have, for now.
Really? Well, isn't that the strangest thing? Are you sure? Oh, wait. Right. You know, I was there, briefly, just the other day. My daughter's been after me to buy her a cycle. How can the producer of World's Wildest Stunts say no to a request like that? It was just a quick visit. It slipped my mind.
Need something? Denied visiting Vegas motorcycle. Downplayed his confrontation with McLadden. You know, this guy's nose is growing, and you're about to harvest a search warrant.
Well, isn't that a kick in the teeth? You'd think there'd be a bit better protection for decent law-abiding folks like me.
That's all the questions we have, for now. Well, looks like the network's suits want the wildest stunts to get a little wilder. Our producer's under pressure, and I think he may have blown off some steam. Encrypted message. Let's put it on disk. Maybe we can break the key back at the lab.
What's up? Encrypted message. Quick glance looks like a pretty simple cryptogram cipher. I'll set up a search link for you on the computer and you can hunt for that cipher that decodes it.
I think this made more sense when it was still encrypted. What's a Kamawa? A brand of motorcycle? And why is our producer sending email to Vegas Motorcycle anyway?
I really wish I could be more helpful. I don't know anything about that. Hey, lots of people in the production office, on the crew, have access to my computers.
Can't think of anything to tell you. Maybe he come around when I was out to lunch or something. Can't help you. Wish I could. Nah, just Ace. I mean, crew members could do business without me realizing that's who they are. Mutual interest in bikes and all. But I got lots of customers, and I don't know what most of them do for a living.
What's up? Yeah, the woman's hiding something. Find out what.
If you've got a warrant, I guess I've got no choice. Go ahead.
That's all the questions we have, for now. Lottery tickets. Last weekend. Somebody get lucky? Hope it's us. Whoa! Our hard-working lady mechanic said she had bills. Now she can afford to pay them. A boost, huh? What kind, I wonder? Receipts for service. All Ace Dillinger. And all for no charge. Somebody's getting free lube jobs. Kamawa. That really decrypts the message.
Hey, that's all I got for you. Vegas Cycle? Yeah, that's a shop I drop by now and then. I was just stopping to see if the gal who runs the place got in that new line of Gripfire handlebar grips. Oh, been waiting for months for those babies to come in. I told you, I mostly do my own maintenance. But yeah, I've been getting comped there some. See Leslie Handelman, gal that runs it? Leslie's been wanting to sponsor me, put their logo on my bike, sort of thing. So it's kind of like the barter system, off the books. Only we haven't put it in motion yet. Certain permissions I gotta wrangle. You know how showbiz is.
Hey. Hey, I scanned that print into the computer for you. Print's in the computer for you. You're welcome. Oh my god, you guys are not going to believe this.
You're kidding. It's a winner?
What, the ticket? Nah, it's a dud. I wanted to tell you, I think I saw Elvis Presley buying a corn dog at a convenience store the other day.
Anyway, anything else about the ticket?
Nope. We've got ourselves a specialized professional quality bike tool, and some even more special tool marks that match our return spring perfectly. I'd say your wild spring break started here.
So, since the return spring was snapped before the bike landed, the Kamawa tool is a key clue. Looks like our producer's been greasing our grease monkey's palm. A lot of similar ones, but I'm not sure if any of these match.
Yeah? What do you need, guys? Let's just see how Miss Handelman and that producer Mazzotti happen to be riding together, and who's in the saddle.
Relationship? With what producer? Hey, I said I'd cooperate, but this is a bunch of bull.
We know Mazzotti's been emailing you. We broke the code. This is your chance to tell your side.
I don't have a side, and you're reaching. I don't see how that's your business. I have some customers that prefer cash and carry. What of it? He built up a big store credit and we were just working through it. No law against that. I don't have anything to hide. Go ahead.
What's up? That print has been scanned into the computer for you.
So, we've got Leslie Handelman's prints matching the ones we lifted from that tool. I'll bet she's got a good story to go along with how they got there.
Need something? Sure, let's get your suspect back in here.
Can't think of anything to tell you. What? That's a crock.
A crock full of evidence, from your email to that Kawawa tool of yours.
Look, I'm no criminal. I just got in over my head. I borrowed some money on the street and put it into my shop, because Ace told me he'd promote my place on his show. But he never came through. Just kept bilking me for more free service in return for more empty promises. Finally, that producer, Corey, came by and said that he'd give me a service contract with the show next year if I helped. Even agreed to promote my place on the air, like Ace promised. Plus, he waved all that cash at me. All I had to do was rig Ace's bike.
Why would a producer sabotage his own show?
Ratings. The accident would stir up all kinds of media interest and viewers. And Corey had Ace heavily insured if he got really hurt to where he couldn't perform or died or... Honestly, I can't believe I went along with it. But I did.
Walk us through it.
Corey called Ace away to discuss the stunt, as a distraction. Using that tool, I worked quickly on Ace's bike, weakening the throttle return spring. Later, I went to the casino, trying to get the nerve to warn Ace. But all I did was watch the stunt, hoping it'd turn out okay. When I saw Ace hit the barricade, I burst into tears. Thank God he wasn't hurt bad.
See? You did have your side of this.
For what good it'll do me. Corey has his side too, you know, and he'll deny all of this.
People can deny anything they like, Ms. Handelman, but the evidence always has its side too.
Can't think of anything to tell you.
You know, I just love it when people hide evidence. It's like they sent us an engraved invite to sit down for a friendly chat.
We're a small production here. Everybody pitches in and does their part. I saw it on set, so I just grabbed it to give to the producer later. Not for a while. I told you already, I usually steer clear of that guy.
Then you've either got a poor sense of direction or a bad memory. We've got evidence that you were there tonight, and arguing with him.
Well, I wouldn't call it an argument exactly. It was a discussion, that's all. A private discussion. Sabo, what? Look, you two. I've tried to be helpful, even though I can't see why any kind of investigation is needed here. This was an accident. Move on.
You had the opportunity to rig that gag to fail. And there's no love lost between you and that charmer Ace.
Would I cry if that obnoxious jerk landed real hard? Hell no. But I have a reputation to maintain, and anyway, I'd lose my damn job.
Hadn't you already lost it, Mr. McLadden?
What are you trying to do to me? Hey, lady, I'm a pro. I'm good at what I do. I take pride in it, and I don't screw around with people's damn lives. So our star stuntman is a horse's ace. So what? That's the showbiz breaks.
People's tempers sometimes flare in showbiz, though, right? Between you and Corey Mazzotti, for instance?
So it's not been wine and roses with me and Corey. What's the biggie? He's a producer with a stunt show that's in trouble, and I'm the logical whipping boy down his food chain to take the fall for falling ratings.
And you went to his office to sort things out.
Yeah, told him where to stick it. It's a high-stress job, but we came to terms, Corey and me. He called me in right after the gag went south and said if I cleaned up the mess quick, he'd make room for me next season. I got nothing for you. Destroy what? Oh, that was an accident. Slammed the door and the thing was in the jam.
Accidents will happen. Around your show, especially. Maybe you accidentally demagnetized that tape, too.
I didn't even know it was demagnetized. I don't know how that could have happened. But there's magnetic parts on some of this equipment, so...
We don't believe in accidents or coincidences, Mr. McLadden. We appreciate your cooperation, but stay handy. We may need more. So we got both the mechanic and the stunt director pointing a finger at the producer. Okay, let's see if they're onto something.
Well, you ought to be in my business with that kind of imagination. Ruin my own show. Right, I'm sure. An envelope of cash? To who? I don't think so. My accountant insists on a paper trail for everything.
Maybe not everything. You see, Leslie Handelman got herself in money trouble, thanks to your ace stuntman leading her on about exposure on your show. So she had a grudge against him. Plus, she needed money to keep her business going.
And this has to do with me how? Oh!
Funny. McLadden insists you did.
He's covering his own backside. If anybody rigged this, it's McLadden. He and Ace are oil and water. You don't have a damn thing on me.
Let's see. Your show's in trouble, needs a rating boost bad. We have your prints on that cash envelope. There's the email you sent Ms. Handelman, and the tool that was used to snap the return spring on Ace's bike. Your accomplice has already made you, and McLadden says you traded him job security for tampering with a crime scene. I guess we don't have much at that.
Look, what's the harm? It was just an angle, you know, make it play better with all those 18-year-old males with ADD in our audience. Ace gets paid to take risks, right? No harm, no foul. So I told the Handelman broad I'd help her out of the financial jam Ace himself put her in. Sent the tool, and she made one little snip. Next thing you know, things are much more exciting. After the crash, I called McLadden. He'd gone postal before, worried about getting fired. So I made amends. Promised to renew his contract next season if he helped clean up the mess. Now, can't we make some kind of arrangement? I didn't really do anything wrong. It was just, you know, television.
Oh, you're going to be on TV, Mr. Mazzotti. And this is the kind of wild stunt where you don't walk away unharmed.
I really wish I could be more helpful.
You're off to a good start. You learned that things are not always as they appear, but the evidence cannot lie.
Observational challenges test your memory of the case you just played. Correct answers allow you to improve your evaluation score. Good luck.
It's gotten to be fairly easy for me to write for these characters. I've done, I think, 6 novels now, something like 12 or 13 issues of the comic book. And I have a strict rule, which is when I write a line of dialogue, if I can't hear, if I can't hear Grissom saying it, if I can't hear William Peterson's voice in my mind, then I got to go back to work on that piece of dialogue until it sounds like the show. Have a tendency to sort of bathe myself in the show when I'm working on it. I tend, if I'm working on the game or I'm working on a novel, I will always watch 1 episode a day on tape or on DVD. When I first saw the show, when I sat down with the first 6 or 8 episodes and was deciding whether or not I wanted to do this gig, it was a cop show without any car chases. It was a cop show without shootouts. There were no fistfights. And yet it was compelling, and it seemed to be action-packed. And all of the action, all of the violence, all of that stuff is done in the reconstructions, which has that wonderful expressionistic style. Now, in the games, we also do the reconstructions. That becomes a very important part. You can't really do CSI unless you have these reconstructions, and sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes we show you what might have happened, and we think that's what happened, and then later we do it again.